The smartest budget strategy I've found doesn't involve cutting out coffee or tracking every single transaction. It's something most people overlook, and by the end of this video, I'll show you exactly how I used it to get complete control over my finances without feeling restricted or overwhelmed. Most budgeting advice online is either too complex to stick with or comes from someone trying to sell you something. This isn't that. I've built financial systems for clients, startups, and my own life, and this is the one method I keep coming back to. The smartest budget strategy I've found starts with something I call the default flow system. Instead of manually budgeting every category, I set up my money to automatically go where it should go the moment I get paid. Right after a paycheck lands, a fixed percentage goes straight into a separate high-yield savings account for long-term goals, automatically. Another chunk moves into a spending account with a capped limit. That's the money I can freely spend without guilt. What's left sits in a holding account, and I use that for flexible expenses like travel, gifts, or emergencies. No spreadsheets, no budgeting apps, just pre-decided flows that work in the background. This strategy works because it uses automation to enforce discipline, not willpower. And I'm telling you, most people fail at budgeting not because they're bad with money, but because they rely on self-control in a system designed to drain it. Here's where it gets powerful. If you've ever tried using apps like YNAB or Mint and gave up after 2 weeks, it's not your fault. They assume you'll do all the heavy lifting. But when I started building systems for people with six-figure incomes, I realized the real win is in pre-structuring decisions, not tracking them after the fact. Let's talk numbers. When I started applying this strategy, my savings rate jumped from 12% to over 30% without feeling like I was sacrificing anything. Why? Because instead of asking, "Can I afford this?" every time, I already knew what account to use, and if that account was empty, the decision was made for me. And I haven't even told you the best part. Later in this video, I'll explain how this same system can be used to beat lifestyle creep, which is one of the most dangerous traps even high-income earners fall into. But let's stay focused for a second. There's something else I do that makes this strategy bulletproof. I name my accounts emotionally. For example, instead of savings, I name the account Freedom Fund or Escape Plan. That small psychological shift makes me way less likely to dip into it, because it reframes the purpose of that money entirely. This isn't theoretical. I've helped founders and freelancers apply this method, and the feedback is almost always the same. I finally feel like I'm not fighting my own spending habits. Oh, and remember how I said I'm not incentivized by affiliate commissions? That means I'm not about to pitch you some budgeting app at the end. I'm not selling you a template or a membership. I just want you to win at this. Okay, let's close the loop. The most important part of this entire strategy, and the part no one talks about, is what happens when you get unexpected income. Bonuses, tax returns, side hustle money. Most people absorb that right into their lifestyle. But in my system, that money goes into a temporary quarantine account. I sit on it for at least a week, then decide if it goes to long-term goals, short-term spending, or debt. That delay creates just enough friction to prevent impulsive decisions, and it saved me thousands. If you got value from this, subscribe. It's the best way to support content that isn't laced with hidden incentives or affiliate commissions.